Hi everyone, here is Akhtar and welcome back on my YouTube channel, and today we are gonna talk about the two new heroes coming this Christmas on the game. You are gonna see that they are really strong, especially the legendary one, who in my opinion is broken, but they will be really hard to obtain because they will be on miracle wishes. So it's hard to obtain miracle wishes, as you know, but if you want to target them and spend a lot of money, do it. Trust me, Nicholas is a really broken unit. So before we jump into the video, as always, if you enjoy it, please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much. So, let's talk about Nicholas first. He is a legendary hero from the Dragon Tribe. Yeah, Nicholas is from the Dragon Tribe. He has a Viking look. Look at this picture here. I don't understand why, but this is it. He is a support hero with the Force Mark, so maybe he will be interesting for the Force Mark Tower. So first of all, let's talk about his passive because it is really interesting. Gifts galore. Grants all ally a unique buff, a Christmas surprise, if he survives at the beginning of each wave. The effect will give different things depending on your hero's classes. So for the attackers, he will increase all their damage with any kind of source, direct damage. For the defense units, he will lower all the damage they will receive, so from all sources, direct and dots. And for supports, he will increase their effect resistance. So this is great because this is a unique buff, it cannot be removed. You don't have a mention of a duration here, so probably it will last during all the battle. This will be really interesting. So now let's talk about his basic attack. He will target one enemy, dealing some attack damage and with a chance to reduce their effect rate by 50% for 2 turns, and after he will restore HP of the ally with the lowest amount based on his own max HP. So he will heal one ally and lower the resistance of the enemy by 50%. This is amazing because imagine using him with Catherine and Ben Austin. If you have Ben Austin with the third exclusive, he will do a ton of basic attacks, so you will heal a lot your allies, you will lower the resistance of the enemy. So I'm using this with Hoff at the moment in every dungeon because he lower the resistance of the boss by 50%. He will do the same and also apply a ton of utilities here thanks to his passive to your team. So this is a great unit. But let's talk about his second ability. He can grant all allies a shield by a certain percentage of his own max HP, and probably it will be a 40% max HP shield, which is really interesting. So he brings a huge amount of utilities to your team only using these 3 skills here. Let's talk about his ultimate now. He will deal attack damage to all enemies with a chance to reduce their speed by 40%. 40% speed reduction is huge, but this is not everything about him. If he attacks enemies under freeze status, he will extend the duration of freeze by 1 turn and the freeze cannot be cleansed. This is the most broken thing I ever heard on the game. You have Nazil at the moment, who is already broken. If you use Nicholas right after Nazil, you will freeze 1 extra turn all enemies, lower their speed by 40%, and they cannot cleanse the freeze. This is too broken. I don't understand why they make a hero this broken. This is gonna be a nightmare. This is not gonna be Christmas, this is gonna be a nightmare in the arena. Because whales will cash in order to get this hero. And probably I will, because I'm not really far away from the PT, but I don't know. This is broken. Trust me, this is completely broken. And if the targets are not frozen, you will have a chance to freeze them. So this is great. So let's talk about his exclusives now. So the first one, Merry Christmas. This is the second ability here. It will increase all ally speed by 40%. That means you will be able to lower the speed of enemies by 40% and you will be able to increase your ally's speed by 40%. This is huge. This is the same as Guhana does with the second exclusive. This is amazing. Exclusive level 2 restores HP for all allies after coming surprise after this ultimate. So he will heal even more all allies after lowering the speed, after increasing the freeze. But this is not everything. If there are 2 or 3 enemies under freeze status, he will reduce the cooldown of his ultimate by 1 turn, and if there are 4 or more enemies frozen, he will reduce the cooldown of the ultimate by 2 turns. So he will always freeze your team. This is amazing. This is too strong in my opinion, but whatever. Third exclusive. He will additionally grant all allies 1 Christmas apple when granting Christmas surprise. So using his passive at the beginning of the wave, they will also get another unique buff. And allies with this buff will have a boost of all effects granting by Christmas surprise. So, if you have the third exclusive, you will give better buffs with the passive here. So this is even better. Allies will boost, okay. Besides, allies with Christmas apple will consume Christmas apple, gain immunity to this death, and restore HP of their own max HP. So you will heal even more and grant immunity to all your allies. With the passive, this is broken. This is the best hero in the game. You won't be able to use Exclusive's Eye on him, so the only way to have a broken unit is to put more than, I don't know, how many shards do we need in order to get 3 copies of him? Or maybe 4, because you can get 1 copy of him during the Voyage type event, but you have to maybe spend 300 to 500 euros in order to get the first copy on the event. Then you have to use, if you are not lucky enough, 450 summons in order to get the guaranteed unit. So you have to spend maybe 1,200 stones in order to get him 3 times. You have to maybe spend more than 1,000 euros in the game in order to get the complete exclusives of him and to be broken as fuck in the arena. This is completely stupid. This is completely stupid. This is a broken unit. It shouldn't be this way. If you don't spend more than 1,000 during this event, all people, all whales with these exclusive 3 units will rape your face in the arena. I really don't agree with this. So now let's talk about the Rudolph, the epic unit. So this is an epic unit from the Doom Legend faction, an attacker, and with the Force mark. So let's talk about his basic attack. He will target 1 single enemy, dealing attack damage, the second stage of which can inflict a freeze. So this is another controller unit who can inflict a freeze. Okay, second ability, Swirling Kick, deals 3 stages of parts of attack damage to a single enemy. If the target is not under freeze status, there is a chance to inflict a freeze on them for 1 turn. So he can freeze 1 single enemy on the basic attack, 1 single enemy on the second attack. Let's talk about his passive. He will gain extra effect hit by a certain percentage of his initial crit rate. So the higher the crit rate, the higher the effect hit. This is interesting. When an ally is killed by an enemy, he casts a freezing blow 1 time on the enemy, with a chance to inflict freeze increasing. So he will cast the basic attack if one of your ally dies on the enemy who kill your allies. So this can be interesting. So you can freeze maybe the target if it's not a boss. So you can survive 1 extra turn maybe, the time to revive your hero, why not? So let's talk about his ultimate. Deals 4 stages of attack to a single enemy, the 4th stage of which has a chance to inflict freeze on them for 1 turn. So you can freeze on single target using all the skills. If 2 or more target stages trigger crits, freeze inflicted by this skill cannot be cleansed, so this becomes interesting. If all 4 stages crit, freeze inflicted by the skill ignores res debuff and cannot be cleansed. So this is really interesting, but let's have a look to his exclusives. The first one, if the target is not under free status after swirling kick, so this is this skill here, refreshes the cooldown of the skill. Meanwhile, it deals extra crit damage. So you want to focus his crit rate. Focusing his crit rate, he will get more effect hits, and you will deal more damage using this skill if you attack if the target is not frozen after using this skill. This is nice. This is interesting. We don't know yet the amount, the attack coefficient on the skills, but it sounds great. Cold Free, so the passive, grants Rudolph effect hit bonus by the same amount of effect res bonus. So, the highest the crit rate you will put on him, the highest the effect hit bonus and the effect resistance bonus. This is a great exclusive. Meanwhile, the chance to inflict freeze increases, and this freeze cannot be cleansed. So you will have more chance to inflict freeze, and it won't ever be cleansed. So this is great. And the third one, the 4th stage of penetrating cold, so the ultimate, the 4th stage, it deals damage to all enemies, so it's an AoE with a chance to inflict freeze on enemies except for the main target. However, the extra effects of triggering crits will not apply to any enemies other than the main target. So you will deal more damage to the target, but the last stage will attack all enemies, so you will have some chance to freeze all enemies. So this is interesting. This is a nice epic unit, but he is not broken. He is really interesting in terms of controls, maybe in terms of damage. I don't know yet. We have to wait until we have the coefficient of damage, but he looks pretty interesting. So we have a really broken unit, really difficult to obtain, and you have a decent, a good, maybe epic unit. So this is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll be lucky enough to get a lot of copies of Nicholas here. I really hope I will, because I really want to have at least 1 copy of him in order to freeze all enemies in the arena and try and test him. Because I want to see the increase of damage, the increase of everything, and maybe he will replace my Huff in the dungeons. So yeah, that was all for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's the case, as usual, please like, comment, and subscribe, and then see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Infinite Magicraid. Play to slay.